Treksploration.
Hello, Treksplorers, and welcome back to Treksploration. I'm Albie.
And I'm Chris.
What's up, Flip?
What's crapping?
What's crapping, Flip?
I feel like it's 3 minutes. Flip. Funny you should say that. That was a nickname that I had in high school. So,
from all the backflips or all the flip references?
All the flip references. Flipper, Flippy, Flip. People still call me Flippy.
I'll call you Flip. I like that. As soon as he tried as soon as Boimler just said he wanted to be called Flip, I was like, that's it.
It's funny because I hadn't even thought about that until you said it right now. I never even made the personal connection. The funny thing is, my dad in the Navy, I guess
Navy,
when he was in the Navy in the 60s, I guess they called him Flip because he had a cup on his dresser. I guess it's still there. But when I was growing up, I remember looking at it. It was like a custom-made like coffee cup, and I guess he'd written stuff on it. I don't know how he had it made or whatever, but Flip was on it, so they knew it was his cup. So I guess they called my dad Flip in the Navy too.
Any guesses on my dad's nickname in General Motors when he worked the line?
Well, are you a junior?
I would be a third.
A third.
But I'm not. I have he's a junior, but I have a different middle name.
Okay, all right. So
wish I had the same middle name. I'd be tripped.
I think it's got to be something clever. Like if he's on the line and building cars, and his name was Albert
Lewis Burge.
Okay.
Born 1929, December 9th. His birthday's coming up soon.
I can't figure it out. What was his nickname?
His name was Redcap. Because he was a rebel.
It's so logical.
He's a rebel. You know how I have like silly glasses and stuff?
Yeah.
That are slightly abnormal? Well, he was the only guy in GM that wore a red hat.
Okay.
So back then, he was a rebel. People were like, yeah, it's a little funny. He's wearing a red hat. I don't know. So he was Redcap.
Was it a beret? Like a raspberry beret?
One of those, 80s trucker hats that the only hat they had back then.
The kind that you buy in a secondhand store?
Okay, Prince Flip. All right. Today we're talking about Lower Decks, Season 5, Episode 5. No, Episode 6.
Episode 6.
Adjust your chronometers accordingly.
Yes, please.
We're back in time a couple weeks. And, this episode aired November 21st, 2024. And the director was Brandon Williams, and I think the writer was Aaron Burdett.
Burdett. Yeah, it sounds familiar. I think I've seen that name before because every time I see that name, I think of Tom Bodett and We'll Leave a Light On For You.
We'll Leave a Light On For You.
Yeah, right? Isn't that like
Motel 6? Hotel 8?
Like that.
Something like that? Did they leave the light on for you?
I don't know if I've ever stayed there. Did they leave the light on for you? What about you? Why is it always got to be about me?
I like Disney hotels. And if it's not a Disney hotel, then I try to get someplace nice. Because I'm done with the crap hotels. I think, I don't know if I told you a story that I think it was on the train trip up. Oh, I must have told you sometime in New York, but the hotel we booked for that one night at Disney before the train ride. And I was like, it's $80. It's just one night. We're going to go to Disney, shower, take a nap, and then get on the train, basically. Yeah. And when we got there, it looked like CSI 1979.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was bad. I didn't even get my money back. I didn't even go back to the desk. We stood there and I was like kind of confused. And I called up Disney World and I said, I need a room tonight. And they were like, let me look. I was like, I don't care. I need it tonight. So like there and then I decided never to cheap out on a hotel again.
Yeah. My wife had to teach me that. I mean, the last cheap hotel that we stayed at, and I say we because it was you and me.
I remember I tried to get you to come to my room the whole time.
In Dallas. I gave you an Elf comic. What more did you want?
I wanted snuggles. I wanted cuddles.
No,
I was lonely.
Nope.
I needed consoling. I was crying 24 hours a day back then.
And eating steak and fries. It was something to behold. No, actually, I was eating the burger and chastising you for still staying vegetarian.
I was afraid I was going to get caught. That's how indoctrinated I was at the time.
So, yeah, no, that hotel was bad news, man. And the neighborhood we were in was even worse news. So,
Yeah, I knew the neighborhood was bad when I opened. I think it was what's that? You swipe right, you swipe left. Tinder,
I
and
guess,
like
yeah.
just like exotic dancers and hookers kept popping up like the whole
Well,
time.
or you could have just walked across the alley to the weird strip club. I think it was a strip club.
Yeah, I wanted to. You said no because you were married, and I was like, I can't go by myself.
Oh, you know,
We
it's
didn't go.
funny. It's really funny. I have nothing against sex workers or strippers or
No.
anything, but this just came up. I don't know why or how, but just recently, Laura and I were talking about it, and I told her you never have to worry about me like going to a strip club, and I don't think she'd care. But she's like, "Why?" And I said, "There's just something about it. I've been to them. I've been to them a few times, but something about it makes me feel personally uncomfortable and kind of skeevy."
Yeah.
And she said, "Why is it?" And I couldn't figure it out. But then I was thinking about it, and I think I figured it out.
Hmm.
Anything that you do in a strip club setting is transactional.
Right.
And I strive to stay away from, quote, relationships that are transactional, even though, you know, many relationships that you have in life have to be transactional. It's just so blatant at a strip club. And I think that's what turns me off the most. So you go in there and you just feel like garbage. Anyway, that's me. I do. That's not a judgment call on anybody, but that's just how I feel
You
when I'm in
you
those
exactly
spaces.
articulated how I feel
Hmm.
about the thing. I probably wouldn't have said it as eloquently as you, but yeah, it's like I've been in so many relationships that seemed transactional or at least phony or knew something was different than the service level I was seeing. And that makes me feel bad too. So when it's actually blatant, it's like worse. And you don't, it's not sexy. But when you're 18, 19, you don't care about that stuff. You're seeing boobs. That's
Yeah,
all
you're
you
just
care
like,
about.
woohoo, boobs. Yeah,
Yeah.
boobs.
But when you're older, you're like, this is somebody's daughter or mother. And,
I don't even think of that. I just think that I don't need this in my life.
the
That's what I
phoniness.
think.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
phoniness.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it has to be real for me. That's why I'm completely alone.
I mean, listen, we all make choices like that. And it doesn't make you wrong or right. It's you being who you are.
Yeah.
And you know, you could put on like this macho facade about, oh yeah, we're gonna go see, you know, babes at the strip club, and I'm just like, no, I just don't wanna. I just don't wanna. It's
Last
getting to
time
the
I was at
point
a
where
strip
it's
club,
like, I think the
but
man doth protest too much, right? Everyone
mm,
thinks I'm full of crap.
not full of crap. I tried to drag you there. I tried to. It didn't work. It didn't work. And I wasn't going alone. I think, and it was just you and me there, right? Nobody else. Oh, Skip had a girlfriend with him.
Yeah,
So
but they weren't staying. They were staying at a real hotel somewhere
yeah,
in
but
downtown, and we were at this motel, whatever, this motel hell.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Yeah,
but
I think yeah. Have
yeah.
we potted about this before?
I don't know. I don't think so. But I don't think Skip would have went with me, like leave his girl at his hotel and go with me to
I
the strip club.
somehow
So
doubt that he would have.
yeah, so I was at SOL, so that's okay. But the
Uh,
last time I was at a strip club was my bachelor party, so that was a long time ago.
yeah,
2009, maybe?
I'm trying to remember the last time I was.
November?
Laura asked me, and I was just like, I think I was in Colorado with my friend Eric,
Hmm.
and we went during the day. So that's even
That's the worst.
that's
Like
even
all the
sadder.
moms are working during the day. Yeah.
And I think I could
If
be
you're into that
wrong. I
thing.
mean, I quite frankly, yeah, I have a memory of doing something like that. It might have been in Colorado, it might have been upstate, but I do believe that was the very last time I did it, and that's at least it's 15 years ago if it's a day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So whatever 2009 was, but I don't
yeah.
know. And I can't figure out for the life of me why I haven't even tried, but oh well, I guess they invented Google and stuff by now, so you don't really
So I have
need
a
that
burning
stuff.
question to ask all of the people out there who are watching. I don't know if we have any viewers. We're going late,
Oh
but
no.
during the when we pod, glasses on
Ooh,
to
I
look
like that.
intellectual or
You
glasses
look.
off?
Are you the Chris? You were there. Oh, there you are.
Where'd he go?
Where'd he go? Where'd he go? I can't see the screen because this only helps for reading for me. But at your distance that you are, you're fine.
Yeah,
You'll clear up for me.
this is distance, and I have my reading ones over here. I needed those for foreknowledge, if you remember when we did the foreknowledge
Yeah.
thing.
If you put
So
both of them on at the same time, what would happen?
I think
Would
my
you see
head might
everything or nothing?
explode. Right? I think I'd see into another dimension, and I don't want to do that to our listeners/viewers. Why has it been
Yeah.
a minute? Why have we been so long away from the mic?
Yeah, let's talk about that. What's going on? I don't know. What happened? I know the holidays were. It was
Well,
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving
Yeah.
happened. That's number one, and
And
then
for
you
some
know,
reason I thought before
I,
Thanksgiving or after Thanksgiving I was going to be able to, do this, but I actually just enjoyed the week with my daughter. It was great cuz I had her for this Thanksgiving.
oh yeah, that's amazing. That's cool. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that's what happened with me too. I thought we were going to do like a huge marathon on a Friday or Saturday after
Something.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We were going to do like 3 shows in a row, but
Oh, we were pumped. We were psyched. And
that's
then
what.
I was
Okay,
like,
I couldn't go on Friday after
okay.
Thanksgiving because I had the opera. I
Right.
had an opera that night, and I just wanted to make sure that I was ready for that. And then I got back, and I also I had work, so I had to do some work. So I had to do that on Sunday. And then Saturday, I have this rule now. I work so much. Like, I don't care if the world is burning down. I don't work Saturday. I just
I
don't.
like it. I like it.
And
Tuesday
what?
was my day.
Yeah. So I mean, so I was probably just hanging out with Laura and doing. Oh,
I
that's
love
right. We
Laura.
went. That's what. Yeah. Remember, I did my Christmas decorations on the fence, and I sent you
Oh, that
pictures.
looked
And
great.
this is so boring to everybody listening,
Not
but
at all. We got
we
to
were
catch
just
up.
we were just
I've been
having
missing you, man. I miss you when I don't get you. You're like heroin.
we were just having lives. She was just like,
Yeah.
look, I want to. Oh, and we have a little town tradition here. It's called Miracle on Main Street,
Uh-huh.
and they have like a local Christmas tree lighting in our little downtown. So that's what we did. So we spent the morning going to the farm and then going to the nurseries and stuff to buy like Christmas stuff, Christmas decorations,
Aw.
and like this stuff, the garland that I string on the fence. And then I put all that stuff up. And then by the time that was done, it was time to grab the pooches and go down to Main Street and join in the festivities. So,
That
and
sounds
that,
really nice.
and then after that, we wound up going out to dinner. So there was just no potting at all. But it was nice. It was a
Yeah.
beautiful way to kick off the holiday season.
Well, this is our first holiday season that we're doing like live shows and weekly shows and bi-weekly
Yeah.
shows and tri-weekly shows and we're just new at it. So I think by next year maybe we'll have a handle on it. Maybe we'll like sandbag a couple shows to run during those weeks.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the thing is,
Something.
what's different about this is we're doing a show that's live
Live.
now. So not well. I'm talking about there is an actual show airing. It's not like a couple episodes of TNG
Right.
that we could just do all in a row and then release them over the weeks.
That's
Although
true.
we're doing Lower Decks.
Although
But
I
we're
have
3
friends.
weeks. We're
I
3
do
weeks
have
behind though,
friends.
right? We're
What?
we're we're 3 weeks behind.
Something like that. Yeah, yeah. 3 episodes, yeah, behind. 2 weeks behind, 3 episodes behind, something like that.
So that's
However you want to do the math. I do have friends, but I wouldn't want to impose on them to get the
Friends.
shows ahead of time.
Ross and Rachel.
We finished Friends.
Did you?
It was amazing. We marathoned it. It was the best.
That show doesn't hold up, does it?
To me, it does. It's great. I mean, it's 4K now on Max. Right after I bought the Blu-rays, so
I was looking at something online where the edits on Max are apparently different than the edits on the Blu-rays.
I did not know that. I got to look that up.
Like
'cause
it looks like alternate tastes. I'm not just talking like syndicates. I'm talking about like it seems like some alternate scenes.
wow,
It's like the same dialogue, the same stuff, but the scenes are different. Yeah, check it out.
interesting. Yeah, I will look that up. I know. The 9/11 episode is different because they had to reshoot it because it was about Chandler making fun about bombs on airplanes, and they filmed it before 9/11. It was supposed to air right after 9/11, so they had to quick
Wow.
refilm those scenes. So yeah, interesting. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, take a look.
Maybe because of focus issues, because I noticed a lot of things that get left in when it's in 4K, you can tell the focus isn't exact, where in low def you just didn't care.
Is Friends, I guess Friends would make that much money where they would go and find alternate cuts and put them in? Or do you think maybe they did this as it was getting ready for syndication? Maybe that's what it was.
Or that's all they could find of the original film. Maybe some pieces here and there are missing. I did notice some upscaling, and what I did notice is for some reason when the scenes switch and later on in the later seasons they like fade from one shot to another instead of like a hard cut. The cut before the fade and the cut after the fade, all that is up-resed, so they look like plasticky mannequins.
Okay.
Until it cuts to the non-faded. So I don't know if there was a problem with with the fading. Like, did they lose the film, or they just didn't want to do it? I don't know. But once you notice it, it is annoying. So I didn't mention it to Serenity.
Matthew Dale would relish this
Oh,
conversation.
he probably has a paper on it. So
he would revel in it.
Yeah.
He probably has a smash cut video of all the things that you're talking about.
Something. So let's go on some more tangents after we do the episode recap.
Okay, so just so everybody knows, we watched this episode about 15 minutes ago. Well, now we've been on for 19 minutes. So we'll say 19 minutes ago. And we said, let's just go without a real rundown. So I'm going to do the episode synopsis based on the notes that I wrote. And it might not be as fancy as usual, but it'll get the point across. Anyway.
As Shia says, just do it.
You know it. So the Cerritos is hosting peace talks in a nebula between energy beings shaped like orbs and cubes. Enter annoying ensign Ali, daughter of Zeus. I guess they mean Apollo from Who Mourns for Adonai, Who Mourns for Adonias. They keep calling him Zeus, but they said didn't Kirk kick their butts? That was Apollo in that episode.
As I recall, but I can't tell one guy in a toga from another.
You know what? I'm trying to think back to what they said in Adonai. I know that we're tangenting already on the synopsis. Maybe we'll save it for the show.
It might be like one of those things where some people know me as this, other people know me as that. And
no, I looked because Apollo is the son of Zeus.
Okay.
So what I'm thinking is maybe Zeus and Hera and all of them were there. And Apollo was the last one holding on before he joined them in the winds or whatever.
Hera's made out of clay, right?
I thought that was Wonder Woman. I thought that was...
Yeah, I was thinking Wonder Woman. All I know is from pop culture stuff.
Right. So anyway, enter annoying ensign Ali, daughter of Zeus or Apollo or who Adonai or whatever.
Yeah. What kind of name is that? I could never pronounce that episode.
I don't know. I'm thinking it's something about... It's some kind of Greek.
Yeah. Like a salad. Ooh, a Greek salad sounds good right now. What time is it? Too late to order. Okay.
Freeman wants Ollie off the ship, but Mariner, seeing herself in Ollie, volunteers to mentor her. Meanwhile, Boimler is obsessed with Alt Beardy Boimler and that pad that he'd swiped from the slightly mirror universe. And he decides to copy all of Alt Boimler's moves. This is a running theme through the season so far, so he could be cooler. And the pad leads him to believe that he somehow needs to become besties with T'Ana. Anyway, back to the Mariner Ollie thing. They are tasked with getting a cube. Oh, I forgot to ask that. I forgot to mention that electronic somehow seems to keep malfunctioning in Ollie's presence, but nobody knows. Nobody's putting one and two together.
It's a mystery.
But Mariner and Ollie are tasked with getting one of the teen cubes named Quadrilon out of his quarters because he seems to be moping and viding all day. But it turns out that not only is Quadrilon missing, his quarters look like there's been some foul play. Maybe a murder? So Freeman tells Ollie and Mariner to investigate on the down low so it doesn't interrupt the peace talks. But Ollie seems intent on pinning the situation as a murder or pinning the situation on someone as a murderer. And she kind of just ruins the DL aspect of the investigation, leading the orbs and the cubes to a showdown. It escalates until the orbs and cubes all join into a giant orb and a giant cube outside the ship. And this is when Ollie's and the Cerritos is caught in the crossfire. See, this is why I write it down. The Cerritos
is doing so good, you don't even have to.
Cerritos is caught in the crossfire, so now it's Ollie's time to shine. Mariner says, hey, you're the person that's screwing up all the electronics. You have these electrical powers. It turns out Ollie's powers, her god powers, are like shooting like electrical lightning bolts out of her fingers that turn into like real rubber lightning bolts that fall to the floor. But in order to do that, she draws electricity from those things around her, and that's why things keep malfunctioning. So what she does is she goes all godlike. She pulls all of the energy out of the giant orb and out of the giant cube, and she brings it into herself, and they all shrink down to their individual components, and she unleashes all of the energy in one giant burst, and these weird rubber lightning bolts go flying everywhere. One of them lands right up Boimler's butt, forcing him to go to the sickbay, where Tiana performs a surgery that Ta'ana, not Tiana. Tiana's a one of my employees. She's the greatest.
Oh,
Ta'ana performs a surgery to pull the bolt out of Boimler's butt, which she is sure is going to go into all the medical journals and make her prestigious and famous. And with that, Boimler and Ta'ana become best buds, and she starts calling him "Fu-oh." And Ollie is vindicated in saving the ship, but also thrown in the brig for her role in trying to goose the situation to make it like there was a murder so that she could avoid suspicion of herself on her godlike powers. The end. I don't know. Was that? Yeah. I mean, I've done better. I've done
How many
better.
times did you watch the episode? Like 12 to do that? Like off the
No,
top?
I watched it once about 3 weeks ago when it came out, and then I watched it tonight before we went on mic, and we would have been on mic about 10 minutes sooner, but I fell asleep towards the end and I had to rewatch it and, rewatch that last 10 minutes that I dozed through.
Such is our life. I watched it a couple times back then. I watched it. This was like Thanksgiving week, right? Yes, no?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
So
it aired on Thanksgiving.
Okay, so I didn't watch it like the night before at 3 a.m. whenever it drops because Rennie was with me. And so we watched it the next day, I think Thanksgiving, or maybe the day after Thanksgiving, because I got to watch it with Rennie for the first time, which is nice.
Cool.
Yeah,
Neato.
That was fun. It's always fun when that happens.
So what are your impressions of this episode? Like, what's your first...
My first impressions was it was pretty good. It was enjoyable. I liked Tiana. Is it Tiana? Ta'ana. I liked that bit. I liked a little bit the mystery, but I think the overall feeling I had for it was, this is like Romeo and Juliet, or how many other, Hatfields, McCoys maybe, or whatever stories there are. I'm sure there's like many more. Brady Bunch episodes, Gilligan Islands episodes. That were all the same. Yeah. But I thought that was okay because it was blatantly obviously at the beginning and then reinforced like halfway through. But that's okay because it might be some people's first time with that story of the two kids of the warring factions getting together. So,
gotcha.
That was kind of it.
I mean,
what did you think, Flip?
I'm having a hard time with this episode on so many levels. First, I think the orb and cube story is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so I get it, energy beings, orbs and cubes fighting because one is an orb and one is a cube, and then nebulas collided and blah, blah, blah. So I thought that was kind of weak. And just the whole Boimler, like, I don't like Ta'ana as a character.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the second episode this season that seems to be focusing on this miscreant cat person that's in sickbay, cursing everybody out and physically attacking people who she doesn't like because they call her curses when she curses at everybody. Mm-hmm. I have problems with Ta'ana. And the fact that Boimler somehow thinks that he needs to get into her good graces, into her book club or whatever it is, it's just stupid. It's just really stupid. It just, you got 4 episodes left, and I feel like we're wasting precious time on garbage. Wow. I don't know. Okay, garbage might be strong. Garbage
I totally
might be
get
strong.
that feeling. That was masks for me for Next Gen with the 3 episodes to go, and it's just a silly episode throwaway when there was.
Next Gen had 26 episodes. You know what I mean? Yeah.
This is about 10, right?
Yeah. So anyway,
the feeling online, what I heard and what I'm seeing is that they didn't know it was the final season, so they didn't know they were like the precious final 4 episodes or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's a weird time to introduce a new character. But listen, we're going already to a giant recap here. So before we go any further in our discussion, we want to encourage those who are watching or listening to reach out to us. Tell us what you think of this episode. You can always go to patreon.com/Treksploration. That's where we have our main hub of discussion, or we try anyway. So go there, and you can also see how you could support the show financially, but you don't need to do that to join the community over there. Everybody is welcome. That's patreon.com/Treksploration. You can also find us on Instagram at Treksploration Pod. We're on Blue Sky now. I guess you just search Treksploration. We're on Blue Sky.
/ at whatever Treksploration, whatever the thing is. How you do it there?
Bisky.
Dot blue sky. Dot.
Yeah. Anyway,
Treksplorration.
so I still have to install the app on my phone. So
I'm telling you, I'm chatting to myself over there.
you can email us, treksplorationpod@gmail.com. You can call us on the phone at 707-847-6682. You can send us something to the P.O. Box 542, Bayport, New York, 11705. You can watch us on Twitch. You can watch us on YouTube and comment on all those places in the comment section. And you can always go to our shiny new website. It's Treksploration.com.
I did update it a little bit. I don't know if you were there today or the day before.
I honestly have not had a chance to. This is the first time I sat at my computer to do anything besides play a round of D&D since the last time we spoke.
I don't know how you do it. You got a fuller time job. You got a wife. You got a house. How do you have time for me? I don't even understand it. I appreciate it so much.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we have to come to some kind of agreement on when we record. I mean, midnight on Friday is fine. Or actually, it's 1 a.m. now. 1 a.m. on a Friday is fine. But, if this was a Wednesday night, it would be problematic.
Yeah,
we'll figure that out as
we
go.
Go to work in a little bit.
Yeah, I got to go to work in like hours. But, like I said, Saturdays I don't work and it's Friday night. So I'm like, woohoo, let's record this. Oh, it's only midnight? Let's get on mic.
I value you and I appreciate you.
I really love you. There, I said it. I said it, and I don't care who hears it.
Out loud. I don't care who knows it. I'm just a boy sitting in front of another boy asking him to podcast with me.
You know who else I also love, Albie? Our crew of intrepid Treksplorers.
Absolutely.
They include our cadet, Listen Linda. Hi, Listen Linda. Our Lieutenant Commander, Scott Seligman. Our other Lieutenant Commander, Cosplay Dad. And our esteemed Captain, Captain Charles from Texas.
Captain
Charles on the bridge. And we cannot forget our lifetime member, our Q Continuum, you say that, it's easy to say, Q Continuum level lifetime member, Willard. Thank you, Willard, for your support.
Thank you, the omnipotent Willard.
And I do believe, if I saw it right on the emails, that Willard is also supporting us on the Buy Me a Coffee. Ooh. We have a Buy Me a Coffee thing too.
Do we?
Yeah,
wow.
I don't know.
How do we see that? Do we go to the link or what?
This is us with zero preparation.
Zero preparation.
Zero preparation. This is also where I might say, oh, but we also have some feedback about our last episode. I didn't have a chance to look for feedback, so we'll save it for the next episode. But if you wrote or you called or you said, I know you didn't send anything to P.O. Box because I've been going there like crazy. And
I hear there's a package coming, and it's not from the omnipotent Willard. It's from someone else.
Ooh.
So definitely check the box.
Ooh. I check it as often as I can.
The only feedback that I saw, because I try to avoid it so I can react to it in real time, but I saw Willard requested that if we're going to go live, that to let him know before 9 p.m. Whoops.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Mess that up first day out.
Have you met Albie? Albie Burge wakes up at 9 p.m.
Yeah, today I woke up at 1 p.m.
What?
I was like, I know. I was like, I should go back to sleep for 4 or 5 hours.
I was going to say, who are you and what have you done with Albert Burge?
But I didn't. I wanted to get up and get the place organized and clean. I got a new Atari. The brand new one, or not, a couple years ago it was brand new, but I finally got one because it was on crazy Black Friday sale.
Gotcha.
And so I'm excited about that. And I wanted to set up my movie screen with all the stuff underneath it, so I got nice new shelving and LED lighting. So I'm kind of trying to organize that at the same time, and it's a lot.
Gotcha. All right. You work a lot more on your space than I do.
Yeah, I work so much harder about trying to watch movies than watching the movies.
Well, you want to make an immersive experience. I get it.
Yeah, it is.
Much more, yeah. I think I would go nuts after 5 minutes of watch because it's probably so loud and so big.
Yes.
I have a headache and my ears are ringing and
yes, 135 inches, 135 decibels. Yeah. It's ridiculous. My mom, I invited her over to watch a couple movies with me, like the old black and white ones that she enjoys, and I can turn her. But she said it's too big. It's too big. I can't do it.
I can't handle it, son.
Yeah. See, I guess I have a wide field of vision. Other people, they're like this.
Yeah, but you've trained yourself. Like you go to the IMAX screen and sit in the front row. So
yeah. So well, fourth row.
I'm convinced that you hate seeing movies because you sit in positions where you can't possibly take it in.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's why you go see things 75 times and can't understand what's going on because you can only see the tree and this tree and that tree And you can never pull out and see the forest.
I just watched The Pretty Girl. Like when I watched Wicked, I was just watching Ariana the whole time.
Okay.
I was a fan of Ariana. The green one's pretty cute too, gotta say. Where were we? Oh, feedback. The little bit of feedback I got was from Willard, and then of course, did you see Linda on the Face group? She posted her wine unboxing.
Yeah. I wanted to maybe we can talk about that a little bit. This is like so it's a Star Trek wine advent calendar.
Yeah, advent calendar, and she actually posted a video. Would you like me to play it for us now?
Yeah, let's play it. How long is it?
It's only like 2 minutes, I think.
Oh, cool. Groovy.
That's my thing. I'm going to try to be Mr. Techie and play the media.
Oh, you're going to do it actually in live time now. I thought you were going to splice it in. I thought this was Theater of the Mind, and we were going to splice
like it used to.
I forgot that we're actually streaming live.
Yeah, in the old days, it was like we'd react to interviews before we even got them.
Exactly.
Oh, that was a great interview. They were so interesting.
They were so amazing. They were so generous with their time.
Yeah, it would be like such general feedback, but
nobody tell Caitlin Bassett.
No, I think I talked about how beautiful she was. So that was true before and after the interview.
Well, that was one thing that we never did after the fact because we never. I don't think we ever sat on interviews with the main cast. We always did them live. Yeah. First of all, and we never sat on them, and we released them. But when you're talking to the third assistant director of episode 47 of the Legacy series, you know you have it in the can, but only one of us has heard it because they haven't edited it yet. But you still have to talk to Matt and Allison about how great they are, and Matt's reacting, and Allison is reacting, and they haven't heard it. But
well, for me, I was recording the after show sometimes before we even had the interview, so I'd have to intro it, react to it, and a couple different ones in case I got this person or that person.
Oh,
and
then, you went a little crazy.
Work in post.
No, here's the thing. I never even suggested putting an interview as part of a show unless I knew we had it in the can. I think once or twice I took a chance on it.
Yeah, take a chance on me.
So
how does that go, ABBA?
ABBA, right?
Okay, I'm going to play this and see.
Okay, Linda, let's hear.
Bring it up.
Linda's
I'm going to hit live and see if this
on
works.
view screen.
Hey guys, I wanted to share with you my Star Trek wine advent calendar. I'm going to unbox it today. Today is December 1st, so I'm so excited to see what's inside. As you can see, this is the series collection. So it's got all the different Star Trek series. And something I noticed on the inside, it's got a picture of the captains and some other characters. You know what? I don't see Pike. Missing one of the captains, I guess. So that's the inside of the box. There are different quotes on the outside. It says, beam me up, Scotty, infinite diversity in infinite combinations, live long and prosper, lots of different things it says on the outside here. So there are 24 boxes. We start with number 1. And let me just open it here. Put on my glasses so I can see a little bit better.
Just like us.
Exactly us.
I hope I don't break a nail.
we so get you, Linda.
Yeah.
So these are just small bottles. Here we go. Number 1.
Woo, neato.
I've got.
Oh, look at that cork.
Oh, it's a red.
Ooh, bottle
and
of red.
Here we go. Here's number 1.
Number 1.
Oh. This is what Boimler had on his in his poster. So we've got number 1, and then here is a little write-up. I can show you that a little bit later.
Oh wow.
Here's a write-up about Strange New Worlds and number 1. And this one is a red wine. Oh, very, very direct here.
Very informatively.
Not any kind of wine in particular, but just a red wine from Italy.
From Italy. Okay, so hopefully it's dry. Unless it's a Montepulciano.
So that's what we're getting. That's what we're getting. We get a number 1.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's got a nice cork here. It's an actual cork, not a screw-off bottle.
Oh.
Well, you kind of get the cork out. So as you can see, this is about maybe 1 or 2 glasses of wine. That is day number.
That's what I was waiting for.
That is day number 1.
Love it.
Oh, bye, Linda. That was great. I love it.
That was Linda.
Look at Linda. She's so bubbly.
Very good. Yeah, she's the best. So if you want to follow that saga, she's posting in the Face group more pictures and close-up things of that. And I posted some of those on the website. I hope she doesn't mind.
Yeah, no, that's great. Has she done more of those? Because I've been on
not more videos that I saw, but more pictures. Like there's one with Quark on it and stuff.
Gotcha.
It's really cool. So that was exciting. So thank you, Linda. That's awesome. I went to go look and see if I could get one of those, and it's out of stock.
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't drink really, but it'd be cool to have those.
I mean, I do like wine, so I'd be interested to know what that Italian red was. Was it a Chianti? It looked a little light though. So
red from Italy.
From Italy, as my grandfather-in-law used to say, who was from Italy. He was in Mussolini Youth, believe it or not, when he was a little boy.
Wow, I met a guy once that was in Youth. He was like
I don't
really
think that they
old,
had a choice. You know, they were like
exactly
11. Go to Mussolini camp.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah, he said I had no idea. I don't even remember it. It was just told me after and this and that. And he was like 90 something. I don't know. But I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, it is. It is different times, right?
Different times, same times, time loops.
Yeah.
All right. What were we talking about?
Fascism. Trek, right? We were talking about Listen Linda's wine collection. So yeah, everybody go check that out. I think that's really groovy. I think we should, maybe if they have that next year, we should try to get one for the show, and you and I can do like some bonus content.
See if they got a non-alcoholic one. I used to have a non-alcoholic wine collection because I wanted to be fancy and collect wine, but I didn't want to drink. So I had a non-alcoholic wine collection. Everybody that came over just thought I was stupid. They're like, why? I was like, I don't know.
Is that just grape juice?
Yeah, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Just not as sweet, maybe. I don't know. Depending on the stuff.
I don't know, man. I couldn't tell you. But yeah, so Groovalicious. Let's hope that Linda is enjoying her Advent wines. And we would love to see more of that, Linda. So.
Yes, this is cool. And I think she would have done it live on air for us, but we were incommunicado.
We were MIA is what we were. And
we were.
Yeah. So
we were winning a Pulitzer or something.
Anywho, I love it. I love it. Well, you just put that it took me a second, but I got it. Okay. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
So, where first with this one? Do you want to go with the Boimler plot, or do you want to go with the Ollie plot?
We could talk about Boimler, the pad pals, Boimler and Rutherford.
I think we discussed that the title of this episode we mispronounced as "Of Gods and Angels" the first time we read it, but it's actually "Gods and Angles," and angles has to do with that bevel on the pad being there.
That was funny that they didn't realize it was red.
Yeah. I enjoyed that. That was a cute
running gag.
And that Tendi and Rutherford got it together. It's funny. I'm watching a nice show. It's called Inside Man on Netflix, and it's from the guy who created The Good Place. Now,
Ted Danson.
Yeah, so Ted Danson stars in the show. He was also in The Good Place. He stars in the show, but Eugene Cordero, who played Pillboy in The Good Place, has a recurring role as Ted Danson's son-in-law in this show. So it's nice to see Eugene in like an actual role that's not like the dopey Pillboy or,
He was great as Pillboy though.
Yeah, he was, but voicing Rutherford too is different. It's like he's actually able to act like a human being.
What was he in? He was in a Marvel show. I want to say, I watched it and he was good in it. I'm not good with Marvel. It was
I don't know. Those are on Disney Plus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have it.
I should send you a gift card for that or something.
No, I wouldn't. It's fine.
I can't even remember, but it was one of those. The Thor Thor enemy, the enemy of Thor, whoever
Loki.
that was.
The Loki show.
Loki series.
You're,
yeah,
only the biggest hit. You mean the biggest hit that they've had?
I watched the first season and a couple episodes of the second season because it had short round, but then I got busy.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I think he's in that, so that's good. Also,
Eugene Cordero. That's where we were.
Eugene Cordero.
Yeah, okay.
We're live. I think Beard Boimler doing stuff as Boimler. It was kind of silly in this episode. I know you didn't like Dr. Ta'ana.
Yeah.
But I think if people were cats or cats were people, they would be like her. They wouldn't be like the sexy cat that purrs in the animated series, you know. Cats are assholes, you know. Kittens are cute, but cats are assholes, and she's an asshole.
All right, I guess. Again, it's just the look. Like, the character design is just so out of this. Like I said it the last time we were talking about her. She looks like a bedraggled comic strip cat. So that's, you know, I'm just expecting her to hate Mondays and love lasagna, but I guess
that's funny.
I guess that's taken, you know. Yeah. So it just always takes me out of it every time. Like, I can look at Maress and be like, okay, I could see, like, and they're not called Cadian because Tendi pronounces it in this episode. She calls them Caitians.
Caitians.
Yeah. You speak Caitian. So now we know how to pronounce it anyway. I mean, I bet everybody else must have known but us, but now we know. Here in Treksploration, we know.
She seems guarded to me because Ta'ana. I'll get it by the end of the season.
Ta'ana. I'll get it by the end of the series.
Yeah, by the end of the series. Hopefully not, but I'll get it by then. But she seems like when she's like your friend, she's a different person. Because I really enjoyed those voice messages that she left for Boimler. I thought that was funny.
Now, I wonder if we're going to get full circle and go back to that first universe that we encountered in the Rifts. And see why they call Beardy Boimler Flip. See why Freeman is on Starbase 80. See any kind of resolution to bring the whole this season full circle. I don't know if that's necessary, but I think it might be somewhat interesting. I mean, yeah, we can't. Well, we'd be breaking the timeline. The Rifts do come in more heavily in the next episode, and then I haven't seen this week's episode yet, but
I have.
Okay, so yeah, I want to talk about other stuff with the Rifts, but it's actually not apropos to this show.
We'll wait till then.
Yeah, we'll wait till then. Yeah,
jumping around in time as we do.
Jumping around in time, got to get back in time.
I'm gonna pause myself for a second. If you could vamp for like a minute and a half, Christopher.
A minute and a half? Jesus.
That would be lovely.
What do you think? I got a tight 5, like I'm at the Improv, like I'm working.
Yep.
You know,
I'm sure you've got a set that you've been holding back for a long time. Here's your chance to try it. What's the deal with type 4 phases?
Okay, Albie is gone. Here I am vamping. If anybody is out there watching live on YouTube, now's the time to come to my rescue. So let's see. Let's hope that my wife doesn't hear this. I went into Manhattan today, and it was on the down low. Don't tell Laura. I went in to get her a gift that I've been planning to buy her for a little while. I'm not going to say what it is, but I was, as a byproduct of that, I was able to walk around the city for the first time since the Christmas stuff has really come up. I was there the Friday after Thanksgiving, and there was some stuff. Macy's was decorated, that people in Herald Square looking in the windows and everything as I was getting to the subway to go uptown to the opera. But this was the first time that I was able to go to Rockefeller Center and see the tree, and the tree is lit and it's beautiful. And it's funny, I was taking a picture from the Fifth Avenue side of Rockefeller Center. If you're not familiar with the way Rockefeller Center is set up, it's kind of behind Radio City Music Hall. Radio City Music Hall is on 7th Avenue. And the back entrance is 5th Avenue, right across the street from like St. Patrick's Cathedral. But you'll know this vista because it's like in the beginning of A Little Miracle, where they have the herald angels that are blowing the trumpets, and they're all marched down a row this central plaza that looks at the tree. So I took a picture of the tree with the angels in the foreground and the tree in the background. And as I was jockeying to get position, I bumped into a gentleman that was behind me. He had a big backpack on, and he hit me and I hit him. And I turned around and I said, "Oh, and pardon me, sir. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you were there." And he said, "No, it's my fault. I have this backpack." And I said, "Well, no harm done." And he said, "You know what? Merry Christmas." And I said, "Merry Christmas to you too." And then he said to me, "That's the first time I've said that this season to anybody. So you put me in the holiday spirit." And I was just like, "Oh, how nice. How nice. Thank you so much." So that was a nice little moment. I was, in the throngs of tourists. So I got the pictures I wanted, and I walk forward and I'm walking out, and I see this woman trying to take a selfie with her and the tree in the background. And I said, "Ma'am, just let me take that for you." And she said, "Would you? That would be fantastic." She had a British accent, I believe. And I'm holding the camera, and she starts calling over. She's like, John, or I don't remember the guy's name. And it turns out that she was there with her husband, and he's wheeling a baby carriage. So it's the husband, the wife, and the kiddo. And I was able to get all of them in the shot with the tree in the background, instead of them trying to jockey selfies around the crowds and stuff like that. And they were ecstatic about that too. So they have a family picture in front of the tree in Rockefeller Center in 2024, which will probably go on one of their Christmas cards, or at least in some kind of photo album. And I did that for them. And it made me feel very good about myself, because I'm self-centered. It's not about them. It's about me. So Merry Christmas.
Happy.
Merry Christmas, me. So there we go. We're vamping.
That makes me happy. Like, it's because when me and Serenity went to New York City, everybody was so kind and nice and giving to us. So you were that person for those people from England.
Yeah, I mean, New Yorkers aren't assholes. We can be, but we're not.
Only if you get to know them.
So anyway, Quadrilon. So I vamped. So you better? You back?
Yes. Sorry about that. I just felt my blood sugar dropping. So I grabbed a mug of eggnog, which is like pure sugar.
Oh, I love eggnog.
So I should be fine.
The eggnog lattes are back at the coffee shop, and I'm having one a week. And as much as I love them, for the rest of the day, it's just sitting in my stomach like a rock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But this is TG Lee
worth it.
Eggnog. I normally I can't have any of that stuff, so I have to make fake stuff. But I have like a running list of things I want to consume when my blood sugar drops low, and that was on the list since before Thanksgiving. So I finally got my eggnog. So happy times.
So if you really want, if you're desperate for eggnog on the off season, you know who stocks it all year round. They make their own. It's a convenience store chain in upstate New York, and it goes into Vermont. It's called Stewart's. And I love Stewart's. I go upstate all the time to go ice fishing, and they're all over. They're like 7-Elevens. I don't know what the equivalent in Florida of 7-Eleven is.
Circle K.
Okay. Circle K, 7-Eleven. It's like that. But they're Stewart's shops, and they make their own eggnog, and they have it bottled in the dairy case right next to the milk all year round. So you can get yourself an eggnog in July at Stewart's.
That sounds good.
This podcast brought to you by the Stewart's Convenience Stores.
Usually I get the holiday nog because it's vegan for Rennie, but this year I got that and eggnog because I was like, you know what, eggnog.
Yeah, damn it.
It's just different. It hits different because it's just like a liquid omelet basically with sugar. I guess I don't know, but it's good, right? I think it's supposed to have it with rum. I think I did once, and woo.
Well, real eggnog, like eggnog, when you make it with the egg yolks and the frothing the egg whites, it's just like 17 kinds of whiskey.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. I have a recipe for it. I've never made it, but I hear it's delicious. I have a boozy eggnog that I buy from the liquor store. Mm-hmm. I buy it because my mom likes it too, so I'll buy it. I'll buy a bottle every season, and like half of it's still sitting in the back of the fridge. I think from last year now because it's hot.
I think that's
how I hot. It's got a lot of heat. It's got a lot of booze.
That's how I want to go out. Boozy eggnog with 17 kinds of liquor in it.
There sounds. I am going to join you. Sounds like a plan.
If it's the end of the world, I'm the last one left, and my glasses break, and I can't read any more books. That's what I'm drinking. You bumped into a guy with a backpack,
it's
right?
Not fair.
Aren't they looking for a guy with a backpack in New York right now?
Oh yeah, that was
same guy, different guy.
I hope it was a different guy. Yeah.
You don't want to be an accessory.
We want to date this episode too hard. We've only been talking about Thanksgiving 2024.
Thanksgiving.
We didn't date this episode at all yet.
So speaking of the cubes and the spheres, the orbs and the cubes, it wasn't lost on me that they were red and blue, or reddish and bluish.
I thought they were orange, blue and orange.
I'm a guy. I don't know what color so much.
I think you're colorblind. I don't think it has to do with your gender.
I have less cones than most, but I can see colors. I don't know them as much. But it seemed to me very like what
universe do you live in, man?
I passed all the colorblind tests. They show you the numbers hidden in the other dots and stuff.
Yeah.
I get 100% on them, but I'm like, is this blue or black? I need bright light to see. Maybe it's the rods I need improvement. I don't know. But maybe
it's your mesons, your neurons.
Neurons and mesons. At first I thought, let this be your last battlefield, a little bit. But then I was thinking, how people here lately have been like a red or a blue, and it seems to separate people for no reason or some reasons, So, and I was kind of learning from that, like a moral or message in that. Did you see any moral or message in that other than the obvious?
Yeah, no. Again, it was. I think it was just like a gag to make them. I understood the story, but I didn't see any new twist on a very basic Star Trek moral message kind of deal of just know your enemy or come together. Honestly, like you said, it was just a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, and that they could mine comedy out of energy beings that were squares and circles. I guess maybe the animation department just needed the day off. I don't know. I mean,
I know we're saying that, and one of them's listening, going, "Do you know how hard I worked on those cubes?"
Yeah, right.
They wouldn't let me duplicate them. They wanted each one to be a different cube,
different shade, different hue.
It gave us some good jokes. I think I liked Ransom when he was like, they could transform into anything. Oh no, just another cube and a sphere. They're not really creative.
I'll have to say Jerry did a good job in this episode as Ransom. Ransom had
great.
Some of the better lines and some of the better just like plot advancement and stuff like that. It's good to hear him have more of a presence on the show.
Yeah, that line seemed like added in later, maybe just like they thought of another joke they could put there. I don't know, but it was great. And he had a couple good lines, but I liked when Mariner said, you didn't miss Circumference Day or something, Radius Day or something.
Oh, that's when they were talking to the orb.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cute line when the orb wasn't glowing. That's apparently the equivalent of seeing them naked.
Is that like you're naked? Yeah. So he knew what that meant, but they didn't know. And later on, when they were investigating him or interrogating him, they're like, "You saw me less glowy or something.
You saw me without my glow."
Yes. Do you know how embarrassing that is? She was like, "No, really, I don't." So there's a lot of good comedy in this episode, if the story was, been done too many times.
Yeah, I mean it's a classic, like you said. It's not even a trope. It's just like a classic Shakespeare riff. So
and Shakespeare, I think, ripped it off from someone else. That's what we're learning, right?
Oh, I have no idea. All I know is it got me to a wonderful place in this time, in this universe, where I can hear Mark Knopfler sing Romeo and Juliet while he strums his guitar. So
my thoughts exactly.
Yes, right. So I'm refraining from breaking out in song right now because we don't want to lose the monetization on this video.
You'd have to hit the notes pretty spot on for us to get flagged, I think.
AI is out there lurking, my friend. As soon as I start doing my Mark Knopfler, forget about it. We're gonna get flagged on this episode. So,
the whole Yanni around her head, right?
Laurel leaves.
That's what I said. Yeah, Yanni.
Yanni isn't Yanni. Yanni's a new age composer that does like synth jazz.
I think we're saying the same thing. Yanni around her head, right?
Yes, Yanni.
Okay. But I thought that was interesting that that like it grows. It's part of her.
Yeah.
Because
You
I
know
always
how
thought
I
it was
know
silly
about
that they
Yanni?
wore them.
True story. True story.
Original.
The first radio show I ever hosted was an afternoon edition thing that we did for the J School in Missouri, and it was called
Missouri?
KBIA's Between the Lines, and the theme song was a Yanni song, and I liked the theme song so much that I bought the Yanni album that the theme song came from. So there we go. There's my Yanni story there. I never thought I'd tell that on pod, but here we are. Here we are telling a Yanni story because
Years
you don't know what a
later.
Laurel is.
one of your first DJing things, right?
One of my first like hosting gigs. Yeah,
That was college radio.
Well, yes and no. Where I went to journalism school, the college owned the local NPR affiliate, so it was NPR, and we owned the local NBC affiliate. So when I was doing TV reporting, it was the local NBC news. So
Nice.
yeah. And yes, it was a college radio station, but no, it was the local NPR station.
Very cool. Very cool. I always thought you were very NPR. Like when I met.
Well,
you
I went to journalism school, so yeah. I mean,
yeah. So
that's why I sound like this on mic. That's why I'm so polished. I'm like
That's why-
sniffing into
that's
the
what-
microphone. I'm like, ugh.
that's why I have a crush on you. That's why.
I put a spell on you. That's it. My dulcet tones.
There was a little bit of a mystery in this episode, but was it a mystery? Like what happened in the crew quarters that they were in and stuff.
I thought that they were going to vamp more on Star Trek 6.
Yes.
Right? I thought it was going to be more like a more of an homage to that. And it started out sort of that way, but they quickly veered away from that. And I guess, yeah, for a show that mashes up so much, usually pretty well, was that a missed opportunity?
Well, I was thinking more Journey to Babel with
Really?
Andorian and Romulan thing.
Okay. All right.
Because with somebody posing as somebody else, like at least that's what Ollie was, professing what could be happening, like her thought.
I'm trying to figure out why Ollie was trying to. I know that they probably said it in episode, but can you refresh my memory as to why she was trying to prolong this and try to make it into more of a murder investigation?
I believe Ollie thought she would be blamed for it, like she did it. So she was trying to cover up the evidence that pointed towards her, even though she didn't do it.
Gotcha, because she is actually the one that screwed up the pad. Because the pad.
Yeah,
was
so she could have like
melted,
electronically, blew them up and splattered them all over the place.
So that makes her a sociopath. Like, so she really is like first season Mariner because
Exactly.
she's
Yeah, that
going
was a
to
good
take
mirroring.
this mistake and actually pin a murder on an innocent orb.
But and in any other episode of Star Trek, you open a door and like it's blown up and something happened. You touch your communicator pad and say security to deck, whatever. I just found this. But I guess she's been kicked off 6 ships and stuff, and nobody believes her ever because she is lying about who she is and her powers.
Yeah, but no, not really, because Freeman knew that she was a demigod, but but I guess they didn't say anything about her powers.
I wonder if she lied about her powers or having them to like get in Starfleet, kind of like Una in Strange New Worlds, or I'm thinking the guy in the Drumhead that was like 1/4 Romulan or something.
Well, I mean, she's not genetically manipulated, right? She's not genetically enhanced, except for the fact that she's a demigod. But that's
similar
not
but
her
different,
fault, you know?
Yeah, but would they let her be like? Would they let a Q be a member of the crew? I don't know.
Right. Well, Ashley Judd was, right? Didn't she turn into a Q?
No, I don't think so.
Who's the one that turned into a Q?
It was the other cute blonde.
The other cute blonde, the one from Twin Peaks.
Maybe was she? Who killed Laura Palmer?
I don't know. Anyway,
we're gonna have to look that up.
Didn't she make a puppy spontaneously appear? Spontaneous puppies.
Yes, and then she had them disappear. So where did they go?
Dun dun dun. She spaced those puppies. Yeah, they're all dead.
So I think we have 4 people watching us live, but maybe our chat's not working, or maybe they're just not chatty people.
Maybe they're not chatty. I don't know.
Maybe not. If you're not chatty, let us know you're not chatty.
Are they watching this live on the Riverside or on the
It's
YouTube?
cumulative. It could be Riverside or YouTube or Twitch.
Twitch. Oh, okay. I don't know how.
So maybe one on each. Maybe it's just us with different windows open. We didn't close.
Yeah, that could be.
Still have our iPad light on.
Yeah, maybe it's us. Maybe it's all us. We're an Ouroboros. We're just eating our own tail.
Yes, we're definitely that.
We're definitely Yanni. We're definitely Yanni.
Yanni, Laurel. We have laurels.
So I think that having Ollie introduced is interesting because it takes off on a TOS trope that's pretty silly, where the gods are just advanced aliens, and once we actually did bow down to them, like, think how wild that is. Roddenberry, who called hell in the cage a myth.
Myth from your childhood.
A myth from your childhood, a fable from your childhood. And now that's pretty ballsy for a 60s TV show.
Back then, yeah.
To call Christianity a myth. Yeah. But then just think how wild it is that they find the being that was Apollo, and he said that we used to be on Earth and adored by you humans, but then you outgrew us. But so that's not a myth. Mm-hmm. There were actually gods, Greek gods, running around on Earth in universe, in Star Trek. That's now canon. How crazy is that? To the point where they can have this person that's a hybrid of those beings that were once gods, when Star Trek's whole deal is to say religion is fantasy, religion is a fable. Not that it doesn't have its societal value, not that you need to denigrate people for being religious, but it's something that we will eventually outgrow. That's a very 60s idea from science fiction. I think Arthur C. Clarke had a lot of stuff like that as well. And now we have it never even occurred to me, we have an episode where there's an actual god who says, gods did walk among you.
There's a lot there. I think aliens being worshipped as gods in the past, I don't think that makes the belief in supernatural beings that control our day-to-day lives and form religions around them. I don't think that contradicts it. So I think there's a fine line there between like worshiping made up things and then like historical aliens, because not that I think we had historical aliens, but like the Stargate SG-1 universe, that doesn't bother me because they're a bunch of Egyptian gods that were actually aliens,
Yeah, but I mean, that's the Stargate SG-1 universe, which is a much different conceit, I guess. It's built on the fact that we thought that they were gods. Right. From what I saw the movie once back in the 80s when it came out.
The series is much better.
I never watched
27 seasons. So. It's worth the watch.
All 300 seasons of Stargate.
It's worth the watch.
I think Alyssa Milano was in a couple episodes once.
Was she?
I don't know. It's probably she was probably naked in it. That's the only reason I would know.
There was only nudity in one episode of SG-1, and it was the first one because it was for Showtime, and they wanted somebody to, they wanted it. But then after that, never again.
If you're in the comments, tell us if those were Alyssa Milano's boobs.
Yeah, I don't think so. That was somebody else. But now that I'm thinking of it, what are you thinking of? Alyssa Milano's boobs. Something vampire?
No, it's not Embrace the Vampire. We all know that you know exactly it was Embrace the Vampire.
I might have a couple copies over there.
I'm not even going to be coy about it.
Might have a couple copies over there. VHS, DVD. Is it out 4K yet?
It may or may not be an Ultra 4K on Tubi right now. I don't know.
I don't know. So, yeah, I do remember that. But I don't think she was in Stargate. If she was, that'd be cool. I don't remember. Oh my
goodness gracious!
I don't remember. Other things in this episode. What funny things did you get a laugh out of?
I did like when at the end when Brad gets with T'Ana and she gets in he gets in her good graces, where it's just like maybe it is you do have to make. Pattern your life on somebody else's or something like that. I can't even remember. up the joke completely. And we're live.
And we're live. Marking the
But
clip right there.
The one thing that made me laugh was when Boimler and Rutherford were walking away, and Tandy was just like, "No, you shouldn't do that." Yes, it works. That's what we should do. Yeah.
No, that's not what you should have learned here.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. Yeah.
And the other thing too, when he was doing the flips and stuff, and Tandy's like, "What's up with Boimler?" And he's like, "Just the usual stuff."
That was so funny because it's so true.
Right. So the little charming moments like that, you know.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's because I think Eugene Cordero is or maybe it's just the way they shoot it or write it. Mm-hmm. He's the master of the walkaway joke or the flyaway joke. Do you remember when they were twaining? But at the end of that, they were Mozarting or something like that, and they're trying to play the harpsichord, and the ship's flying away, and he's like, "Boy, this is hard."
Yeah, this is much harder than I thought it was going to be. That was the funniest.
But that was another. It reminded me of that. It's just sort of that sort of okay. It's like telling the joke and running. I don't know.
Yeah, he's the best. I think the thing I laughed at the most.
Yeah, how about you?
It was poop humor, I guess. But Rennie and me were watching it, and she was like the whole time. She's like, "Where are the pyramids? Where are the pyramids? When do the pyramids come in?" And then the baby poops a pyramid, and we just laughed out loud, like because we were waiting for it, basically.
Yeah, the baby was essentially shaped like a dreidel.
Yeah, I noticed that dreidel. I my family's non-believers, me and her Serenity, but we try to celebrate all holidays as just an excuse to give her more presents. So I bought her dreidels and stuff, and we played with dreidels.
Some dreidels and gelt.
Gelt, isn't that the fish?
No,
what is that?
That's gefilte.
Yeah, we don't know. No gefilte fish. That's got to be worse than the sushi.
Gelt is the chocolate coins.
Oh yeah, I bought her those too.
And gold foil. That's gelt.
Yeah, we celebrate all holidays because none of it's real. So we just celebrate the things around the holidays. So
the trappings. You embrace the trappings.
Yeah. And we watch 8 Crazy Nights always during Hanukkah because that's one of our favorite movies. You don't like the 8 Crazy Nights?
I'm not an Adam Sandler fan. Have we had this discussion before? I think we have.
Probably.
Yeah.
Have you seen his new special? It's kind of good.
No.
Kind of good. Oh, what was that one where he skips around in time? I like that one because I identify strongly with that one. I think it's called Click, where he's got a remote that controls his life, and he keeps fast forwarding through the bad parts, and then you realize, whoops, a little too late. But that's a good one.
That's not too obvious at all.
How do you feel about Billy Crystal?
I like Harry Met Sally. I have no problems with Billy Crystal. I was listening to, what was I listening to? It was something on the radio. Maybe it was
NPR, baseball.
Maybe it was.
He's in baseball sometimes.
And it was something, and it was nice to hear him again. Like I always enjoyed his movies, but he was like big in the '80s. So when I was going to movies in the '80s, it was just like Billy Crystal always had a movie out.
Running Scared.
Yeah, Running Scared, and Harry.
He's got a new series out on Apple, I think. I haven't seen it yet, but I want to watch that.
So, and I forget what he was talking about, but he was as engaging as he's always been. How about you? Are you Billy Crystal? I mean, your favorite? Yeah,
Huge. Yeah. Like I can't have a Harry Burns action figure yet, so I have some Mike Wazowski action figures. Gotcha.
Yeah.
But this episode reminded me of this a little bit because when Dr. Ta'ana,
you got it.
See, I told you. Was taking the bouncy bolts out of Boimler's butt.
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me of that scene from City Slickers where they got gored by the bulls and then they had to do an ass operation and it was in front of a bunch of people.
I vaguely remember that. That was the other one that we would go see. And then there was City Slickers 2, The Legend of Curly's Gold. Yes.
Curly's Gold.
Yeah. And I went to see that in the theater too. So
wasn't that the one where Jack Palance got nominated for an Oscar or something? He did push-ups live on stage when he was like 98 or something.
It's funny because I remember David Letterman's top 10 things about the Oscars, and one was get off the stage, push-up geezer. I think it's funny because I dug out a whole bunch of my old like not comic books but like comedic books, and I have the late night book here that David Letterman put out. It might be in
Oh, wow. Yeah. I would actually love that. I think that's part of the reason why I had so much trouble in school, because my whole childhood, I stayed up to watch David Letterman.
Yeah, so I wonder if the...
Never got enough sleep. That's awesome.
Yeah, I dug it out. It's look how old it is, like on the top. Like you can see where it's just aged.
Yeah.
but I've had it since I was a teenager.
To me, that was like the coolest show when I was a kid.
Yeah, I loved Letterman. I had a Late Night with David Letterman sweatshirt that I wore forever. I still have it.
Oh, sweet.
I
Well,
still
you could
wear
just
it.
walk downtown and buy one.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
No, but back then.
Yeah, and I still wear it when I ice fish, actually. I put it on underneath my stuff when I ice fish. It's a little small on me now because I'm a big fat load, but
Uh-oh.
it was good. Uh-oh, what?
What size shirt do you wear?
I want to say Marge. I used to be a medium, but
Yeah,
I've
you
been
did.
going to large lately.
The
But the
good
large
part-
is still too big on me, but the medium's too small on me.
Like I'm a double X and a half. If I'm wearing a double X, my belly's showing down the bottom. But if I wear a triple X, it's kind of like almost a skirt. So
Yeah, that's what happens
I'm a
with the
double
large
X and a
with me. Yeah, I look like I'm wearing a dress uniform from TNT.
a lot of brands, though, are sizing up so you feel better about yourself, so you buy it. So you're like,
Gotcha.
I must be slimming down even though I gained weight.
Yeah, I'm just going to lose 15 pounds and be able to wear all my clothes again. It'll be nice.
Me too. That's the plan. I'm going to lose 50 pounds and be able to wear all my clothes again.
So
We were organizing.
we'll go on this journey together.
Yeah, Serenity and I was organizing, and she was like, we were trying to fit all my clothes in my closet. I have a huge walk-in closet, not as big as yours, but I have a huge walk-in closet, and like I was trying to, because I have all these geek shirts, and you pay $20, whatever, and each one of them is a different sci-fi or comic property, and you don't really want to get rid of them. Like my original Enterprise shirt that I bought at the mall when Enterprise was on the air, I still have. But she said, Dad, maybe it's time to put away your extra large shirts for now. I was like,
It's funny. Did you ever see the shot of me in my first geek shirt that I bought at Icon? It was a Star Trek Lives t-shirt. It's a black t-shirt. Did you ever show you the
No.
picture of me with the fish and the Star Trek Lives t-shirt?
I don't think I saw
I
that.
think it's around here somewhere. It's probably
All right.
on my phone. Let's see if I can find it for you. But yeah, so I mean that shows you what we think of this episode.
Okay, another thing from this episode while you're looking for that. What did you think about Mariner in two ways growing, or at least showing that she's grown by taking Ollie under her wing, kind of like Ransom did? And
Yeah.
also the mirroring at the end where she was Ollie was saying the same exact things that Mariner did when she was in the brig, I think early on, even in season one or early on in season one.
Yeah, I think it's good because they're striving to show some kind of growth for Mariner.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in a way that the fact that she can recognize herself in this character and feel like she's beyond that is nice. I mean, but again, it's very inconsistent. Because
Cartoon.
then we have the Jennifer episode where it's just basically Three's Company nonsense and Mariner completely failing to take responsibility for herself, for her actions, for the consequences of her actions. And here we are back at square one.
Yeah. Well, I
So-
think that mirrors real life. I mean, people can improve in many ways and still not in other ways. So, but when I saw
I
her
guess-
growth, I thought maybe you would appreciate it a little bit.
Yeah. I hadn't considered that. So thank you for pointing that out. I feel rude like I'm scrolling through my phone here, but
No, you have a purpose. You
I
have a
can't.
reason.
Yeah. You know what? I think I took it off my phone because I was.
Okay, we'll find it later and I'll superimpose it.
Yeah,
on the
superimpose
re-edit.
it on there. It's on my
Won't be
it's
the
on my
live, but it'll
laptop
be on the
somewhere.
re-edit.
But I'll find.
Alright.
Well, you know where it's on my. It's probably on my Facebook page.
Oh, okay. I can go take it from there.
Yeah, take it from there.
That sounds good.
So anyway,
So Star Trek 6, where were we?
Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country, when your favorite group of Starfleet personnel turned into a bunch of racists all of a sudden.
Guess who's coming to dinner?
Yeah, right. They're like,
Yeah. Hopefully it was not about race. I thought it was about because they were the enemy.
yeah, no, but it's just like it was just so,
But guess who's coming to dinner? That's a racist reference right there. So I guess I disproved my theory right there.
maybe. I mean, I like Star Trek 6. I got a soft spot for it because it was the last original series movie, and it was a much better film than Star Trek 5. Thank goodness they didn't leave off with Star Trek 5,
Why is Captain Kirk climbing a mountain?
So, yeah, exactly, because it's there. Go climb a rock.
Go climb a rock.
Yeah. So,
I was going to watch it for the anniversary because I just heard about it, I think, yesterday. But I was like, I just watched it because Serenity and I finally got to Star Trek 6. in our Star Trek rewatch. So she's completely done with the original series if you don't count Generations.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did she like the original series? Was she able to get through it okay, or did you have to fast forward through a lot of stuff?
It was weird. Some of it, she hasn't watched every single episode in there, but she's watched the main highlights, I think, enough to watch the movies. And where I thought she would like have problems with it being too slow, she seems to like the more dragged out ones. Like the Cage is still one of her favorites.
Well,
so
go figure.
I guess, yeah, it's weird, but I'm trying to think other ones. Sitting on the Edge Forever, of course, she loves that one. Like I do. Everybody loves that one. You
gotta love that one.
Yeah. So what else do we do before we talk about our wrap up?
Oh, let's see. Let me call up.
We got trivia. We got Trek and Tells. We don't want to forget either one of those.
No, we don't want to forget those. So we don't have any call-ins right now. If you're watching, now is the time to call in at 2:00 in the morning.
Now is the time to call in. Yep.
Okay. So
it's 5:00 somewhere, maybe Australia.
So what's your episode crush?
My episode crush. That's difficult because I really didn't have a crush on Ollie at all in this episode. Like she seemed nice, like she was pretty, like I'm attracted to cartoons. We've established that. Yeah. And I like that she was like a normal size. Like if you compare her to like Tendi or Mariner, they're way too not normal. They're like stick figures almost compared to like this one. And I like that, but her personality, Ollie's personality, just didn't do it for me for some reason.
Yeah, because she was a jerk.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Yeah,
that's probably why. I'm done with jerks. I'm done with dating jerks. That's why I'm alone.
You gotta calm down. Calm down, man.
But if I had to pick one, I would say Tendi.
Tendi, okay.
Because I like that. Like there was just chaos happening everywhere, and she was the only one rational, and like just observing. I dug that for some reason. What about you? What's your crush for this episode?
Ransom.
Ransom, yeah, he was good in this episode. I like him. He can't make his gains without his bells.
Right, exactly. I just cute lines, and I kind of like the fact that again they gave Jerry stuff to do that was both comedic and serious, and Jerry he does such a good job.
Yeah, I wish that they had like a episode coming up where like they just focus more on like the characters we haven't seen yet. So hopefully one day.
Oh, I wonder if that's going to happen at some point.
Hopefully.
So it could. I mean, it could. There's no saying that it won't.
No,
right?
No, but like it would be like lower decks, but like the other part of the decks, whatever those would be like upper decks or something.
Right. So
that'd be cool.
I wonder if they're going to do something like that.
All right. Trivia question. Who asked who?
You ask me.
I ask you. Okay. I will get my glasses out just like Cadet Linda.
Cadet Linda?
She's allergic to retinox as well. Oh, wow. My eyes have adjusted. I can actually see in the dark room here.
That's cool.
All right. Let me stop me if you've heard this one.
All right. I'm dragging something into the chat. Let's see if we can do that.
I got you for 3 questions.
You got me for 3 questions.
With whom is Mr. Scott infatuated? I thought I could see. I have a flashlight. I brought a flashlight out. Oh, I got this nice card.
Oh, I wonder who sent that.
Oh no, a very nice gentleman. That's not my Trek and Tell though. Where is my flashlight? All righty. Time to change the lighting, folks. All right. With whom is Mr. Scott infatuated in the original series episode, The Lights of Zatar?
Ensign Mira Romaine.
Wow, you got it exactly. Stamos. Whose introduction interrupts the installation of Garon as leader of the Klingon High Council in the Next Generation episode Redemption Part 1?
Jesus. Whose interruption?
No, we did not read these.
Yeah, no. I'm going to have to go with Worf, but I know I'm probably wrong.
You are probably wrong. The answer is, and I kind of remember this as I'm reading it, Doras's illegitimate son. Do you remember his name?
No.
Tyrell.
It's like Captain Tyrell.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Which actor who played a Starfleet captain has been an associate professor of theater acts at Rutgers University? So, like a real life question.
All right. So say again.
I'll say that again one more time. Now this is your third question, and you got one right, and you got one not so right. So this is your third question. Which actor who played a Starfleet captain has been an associate professor of theater arts at Rutgers University?
Which actor
who played a captain? So you get to pick a captain.
Yeah,
there's a bunch
a
of
theater
captains.
of arts at Rutgers University.
Technically, the guy from Ferris Bueller is a captain. And,
yeah.
and then all those people from that one episode of Next Gen where they meet on a planet.
I don't think it was Scott because I would know that about Scott. So that ain't.
Mr. Scott's a captain in name only. I think he always liked being an engineer.
I'm going to say George Takei.
You're looking for an actor that's a captain?
George Takei.
Your answer is George Takei?
George Takei.
The card's answer is slightly different. It says Avery Brooks.
I would never have guessed Avery Brooks. I would never have guessed that in a million years. I mean, Avery Brooks makes some very interesting acting choices, and I don't know that I'd want him teaching my theater classes.
You know, it'd be funny, though, if, you could, now that you know this, you could probably spot his students on television. Right? like in CSI, a guy go, no! And they're like, sir, you're a corpse this week? You just kind of sit there.
All right.
Like, no!
Don't open your eyes.
No.
or keep your eyes open. All right. You're gonna have to look at the chat.
Chat? Is there chat?
Because I can't figure out how to do this in the
I have live stream
there
chat.
We go. I can't figure out how to, but you're gonna have to do it. No, you have to look in the messenger chat, our usual messenger chat.
Oh, okay. Let me do that then. I can do that.
There you go. And
I'm in the wrong window.
Now you can pop it up. Pop it up.
Pop it up.
Avery Brooks, Jesus. He makes some interesting choices, and half of them are wrong. But Cisco is still like the greatest captain ever. So
greatest captain ever. One of them. I don't know. I'm so torn. I love all of them. I really do. There's no captain that I disdain. Wow.
So there you go. I don't know how to put that onto the thing. So
all right, I can do this.
So as we were discussing,
if I can do it live. I can do it live.
My first con shirt, my first geek shirt. I still own that shirt, by the way.
Like I do. Like I still own shirts. Now where the hell did I save that? Okay. Let me try that again.
This is gonna be so anticlimactic once it comes up on the screen.
No, people are gonna like this. You just got to vamp a little bit more. So tell us a little bit more about your eyewitness account of the backpack guy in New York City.
I will not.
That'll get its hits, right?
He was a very lovely gentleman. So Laura can never listen to this episode, or at least not until after Christmas.
All right. Does she ever watch our stuff?
No, I'll occasionally put us on in the car if we're driving to Vermont or something.
And she's great, more Albie.
I don't even watch our stuff. She's not going to watch it.
All right. Let's see, upload media.
There we go. I couldn't figure out how to put it into the chat. I wanted to.
Let's see.
You're able to do it.
File not supported.
It's a JPEG.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's only letting us put movies and music up. So I see. Play audio or video files played while recording. That's not it. Okay, maybe branding. No, maybe
That's
share.
Weird that you can't just put like a JPEG up.
Yeah. Let me just drag it and see if that happens.
Yeah, I tried that. It just opened up a new window.
All right, trust me, it's cool looking. And we'll insert it again here.
Maybe a sex tape.
Yeah. Embrace of the vampire, something I heard. I'm not sure.
I'm going to put my glasses on so that people don't know it's me anymore.
Where'd Chris go?
It's crazy to me how distorted my left eye lens is. You can see like the hand link looks like it's something out of the end of 2001.
Wow.
Ooh, anyway.
Okay, yeah, I can't figure out how to do that. If anybody knows, let us know in the chat. Is anybody there?
How do you put a JPEG in?
Yeah, maybe you can't do it live, but maybe if I did it ahead of time, not sure.
We'll do it live.
Do it live. Let's do it.
Okay, so we did trivia, which I failed utterly. I utterly failed.
No,
trivia.
you only missed 2 out of 3. That's not bad. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. That's what
Trek and Tell. Where's your Trek and Tell?
Trek and Tell. Who goes first? You or me? I'll go first.
No, mine is going to be
first?
a little anticlimactic. Yeah, since you know me. Well, I do have this, but I was going to wait until Serenity was on the show, right? Or
That's
should
fair.
I do it
Yeah,
now?
she'll be here in a show or two, I'm sure.
Okay, cool. So
She'll be joining us.
my Trek and Tell is actually right here. Surprise, surprise. It's a book, but it's an appropriate book.
Ooh.
And you can see how old it is. The second book I'm holding up. Look at that. Greek Mythology by Raymond Y. Hawthorne. Now, I got this in, I think, my freshman year of college at Stony Brook University. I took a mythology class, and I loved it.
Nice.
I loved this. I learned all about, like, the hero myth and the shaman myth, and I was so jazzed about it because it mirrored so much of the fantasy that I had read throughout my youth. So learning about all of this stuff really helped enrich that to me, and to the point where we had to do papers about this. And I wrote a paper about, like, the myth cycles in the Lord of the Rings and who fits into what myth cycle. I was basically the hero myth. I was putting Frodo into the hero myth. Here's chapter 4, Origin of Evil. And I have, for some reason, a note that says the torch is the symbol of man's eternal suffering. I don't know if I wrote that later. I'm going to guess I wrote that when I was researching something because it's on the back. ADP is a paycheck. I wasn't getting ADP paid because we use ADP in my business. I wasn't getting ADP paychecks in college. So I must have been writing the flip side or something and going back to this book. This is why you need to have a well-stocked library, folks, because when you want to write radio segments, you can just research the stuff in your own home. You don't have to go to a library. Oh, wait, I used to do this before there was a thing called the internet.
The internet. Did you hear any of those auto-generated podcasts I sent you?
I was listening to one, and I was just like, man, the AI sounds so eerie and sort of real, but not. And then the way that they were describing it, I said, why is he doing this? Like, they were just like, and then in this one, and at the beginning, Sam is disguised as a woman. Like, they don't understand how leaping works at all. And
Not at all.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do that to see if it worked. And I got most of it right. I think they messed up towards the end about who was leaping where or doing what.
Yeah, so it was just as weird. So or did you put those public or what? I wanted to ask you about those.
Yes, that is public. It's on Now I Know podcast.
Okay.
Oh no, Now I Get It podcast on YouTube.
Okay, got it. Okay, so you just created that for no reason. How did you?
Yeah, I uploaded your book to it.
Okay.
Because you sent me a copy one time, and then they talk about it for like 12 minutes.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and I did other things, and no matter what you send them, they're so psyched and stoked about it, and it's the best thing in the world. So I was like testing it with stuff, and I uploaded Mein Kampf.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, just to see, because I figured it would go viral if they were like all saying it was great and stuff, but they were like, no, this is bad. It did it, but it took it serious, and their tone was completely different. So good job for whoever.
Yeah, good job AI. I'm sorry, I'm looking through this thing. It's funny. American University of Beirut is what's on the cover page.
Huh.
How crazy is that? So anyway,
that's very cool. Yeah, the original superhero stories, right?
Yeah, basically the original, all the stuff that fuels everything that we consider popular entertainment now. The classic myth cycles will always be in fashion because they're so universal. I always put it this way, like, to me, like, the hero myth is just like a skeleton that you could put any flesh suit on that you want, or the other, all the other basic patterns of myth, because it's all about death and rebirth. And see also Star Wars, which is just essentially monomyth turned into space opera. You know,
I'm collecting them in 3D now. So
there we go. So mythology. There you go. Robert Graves.
very cool. Very cool. You ready for my
Robert
Trek and
Graves,
Tell?
It's Raymond Hawthorne. I have
Raymond
Robert
Hawthorne.
Graves around here somewhere too.
That's pretty cool.
So yes, let me see your Trek and Tell.
Was it weird AI describing your book to you?
It was. That's why. I mean, I stopped after a second because it was just like they're not doing it right, but it's like eerie. Like they should be doing it right because they sound credible enough.
They sound great. Yeah, I've been playing around with it because it's like you can take something really huge and like they explain it to you in 15 minutes.
Okay.
But do they get it right? Not always.
I mean, I could take something really huge and describe it to you in 15 minutes.
Whoa, that's for Treksploration After Dark.
So, you got my
not quite yet.
Okay. For anybody listening at home, Albie is opening up an Amazon package. If you're listening on the podcast feed.
I don't think ASMR works with Riverside.
I can tell you this.
Take out all these sounds.
That's some hella Foley work you got going there. Sounds like the Yule log.
So I got this on. I've been wanting it for a while because I have other versions, but I don't have this version, and it's always too expensive. But Black Friday, it was really cheap.
Is it wines from Listen Linda's Club?
I wish it was. Maybe she should send us the empties, and we can put them on your shelf behind you.
That's what I need. I need to have liquor bottles lining the back of my shelf.
All right, so maybe full one. But it was a great sale, and I think it came around last Black Friday, and I was like, I should do it. I'm not going to do it because I don't really need it. And then, like, for a year, I've been like, I should have done it. So when it came back up, and there's no reason for me to do this, but I did it.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Tell everybody who's listening along on the podcast feed.
Star Trek Voyager, the complete series on DVD. Now, I have the individual, like, isolinear chip ones because I had bought those, like, as they came out for a while, but then, like, my life circumstances changed and I, like, didn't get all of them. But then, like, maybe 6 years ago or so, I went into a thrift store and they were all in the thrift store for, like, $2 a season. So I finished collecting those right there like that. So I have them all on the, they're like neon translucent looking packages, but this is all in one.
Now, if you opened that up, would they have the same, like that same packaging, just they're boxed up now, or are those completely separate production?
What these are the same discs, I believe, but they're all just one color. Where the other ones were, I think, black and with, the Voyager colors like the yellow and the orange and stuff. But these are just gray, screen print, one color. And it's like, I think it's gray as a background and then clear, which would be the silver as like what the titles are. But it has the title of every episode on there, but it doesn't show where the bonus features are. You just kind of got to go through it. But it's one of those things. And I thought maybe if I put it into the universe that, hey, I finally bought the complete series again on DVD, maybe then they'll announce in the next few months, hey, we're upgrading it to Blu-ray and rescanning everything. So
yeah. I wonder.
I'm trying to jinx myself on purpose.
I wonder if they'll ever get that done. I don't think they will. I get you, though. You're doing what they said you need to do in order to make these kinds of things viable. You got to buy the physical media.
Right. To get the better physical media to buy it again.
You got to what do they call it? Upcycle. You got to upcycle.
Yeah. So like, and it's on Paramount Plus. And like I said, I have it. And then I have all those Columbia House Collector Series VHSs that Rennie's getting in the mail. Time travel mail. But I have the 400 disc Blu-ray player. So I'm thinking of just popping them all in that and hitting play, seeing what happens.
Is that compatible? Could you put a regular disc in a Blu-ray
player? Yeah,
DVD
can play in a Blu-ray player, but not the other way around. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because Blu-ray players have both kinds of laser beams that read them. Or the lens reads them, but the laser beam is what reflects off the disc. And they're two different wavelengths. One's a blue, obviously for Blu-ray, and the DVD ones is red, and I think that's for CD as well.
It never even occurred to me to wonder why they called a Bluray a Blu-ray. Thank you. You taught me something today.
Yeah.
I don't know how stuff works.
The next format was going to be green ray, I believe, or violet, because it's different wavelengths or different sizes, so they can compact more data on the disc.
Oh, so
But then they just figured out that they could stack more layers of the Blu-rays to make the 4K Blu-rays.
gotcha. So our media could have, without that innovation, been somewhat akin to the Green Lantern core.
Exactly.
The Blu-ray and the Green Ray and the Violet Ray and the okay.
Green Lantern. I just got that on 3D Blu-ray. Haven't watched it yet.
Which one? Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds. Yeah.
It's terrible.
Well, yeah. But it'll be fun to watch in 3D.
Okay. Yep. I guess. Yeah.
Isn't his wife in that? Is that where they met? What's his wife's name? I forget.
She plays Carol, I believe. Carol Ferris. I don't remember her name. Aubrey Plaza. Is that his wife?
No, I don't think so. That's the other one.
Yeah, I don't know Ryan Reynolds' wife. I'll know if I heard it, I'd know, but I don't know.
Very, very cute blonde, good actress.
Yeah.
She just had a movie out. I think it's in theater still.
Somebody save me.
Star Trek Voyager, the complete series on DVD.
More power to you, man.
Seasons 1 through 4 and 8 through 7.
Why is the box for 1 through 4 bigger than the box for 5 through 7?
Just because the way they do it, they're like little. I don't know if you've had a DVD in a while, but they put them on these like flip pages on the inside that are plastic.
Oh.
And so there's like only so many hinges that can fold, kind of like leaves of a book. And I think with these, they stack them maybe a couple, 3 on each page. It's confusing, but I have it now. Now I won't have that nagging feeling all year long that I should have bought.
I was going to say, so you are going to open that and stack them in and see what you got.
Or do I sit it on the shelf?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. But anyway, it's got Janeway on the cover and Janeway and 7 on the back.
They know how to sell Voyager, that's for sure. Nobody's buying Chakotay's mug.
Just put Chakotay on it and see what happens.
Right? I think we can all guess what would happen.
I love Voyager so much that I was like, I should own this. I own so much stuff. I should own this.
Well, congratulations. I'm glad you got it.
Yeah, Black Friday. That's what I did with Black Friday. And I got myself.
So you said that's crazy cheap. Like, what does that usually run? Or if you don't want to discuss it, that's okay.
It's usually like 120, 135, 111. But I think I got this for about $50 shipped.
That's great.
Amazon Prime.
Okay.
For 7 seasons.
Yeah.
It's something that I'll actually watch if I open it up.
You'll never miss that $50, but you'll always have those discs.
Exactly. And you never know. Physical media, they say, is going to be more and more important in our future.
Especially when the world comes crashing down around our ears. Yes.
When the world comes crashing down.
I'm going to have to go to your house because you know how Blu-rays work. I don't.
I do know how Blu-rays work. And I know how generators work. And I can hook it up to a bicycle. And I can pedal to watch Star Trek. So
Thank you, Professor.
Exactly. I learned it from Gilligan's Island. Everything I need to learn in life is from Gilligan's Island. But if you think about it, the world's falling down around us, but I'll still be able to watch Star Trek and I'll lose weight at the same time. Exercise.
There you go. You should just
and
hook it up to the generator now.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Well,
Or you could just get a stationary bike and put it in front of the TV. I mean, you could do that too.
I had during the lockdown or the 2 years of isolation, whatever that was, I had a treadmill.
Yes.
And I hooked it up right in front of, I think I want to say 75-inch TV. And I would play YouTube. And on YouTube, there's walking tours of all the beautiful cities all over the world. So I would like find one like Italy and Paris and Rome and all these different places where you just walk through these lovely streets that are older than imaginable and just gorgeous. And I would walk at the same rate. And I would get kind of dizzy because my brain thought I was really there for a minute, but then I'd realize I wasn't. But that's how I exercised during the pandemic.
Okay. You made yourself dizzy in foreign lands.
But that's what I did. Now I go outside and walk. It's not as nice because it's only the one location. It's a nice location, but it's just the same one over and over again.
Yeah,
And the other one, the YouTube ones had girls on them. So maybe I should start doing that again.
Or maybe just walk in a place with girls.
I'm going to Google that later and see what comes up.
Yeah, there's got to be like a little town center or somewhere where you can, walk by a coffee shop or a bookstore.
You forget the state I live in. It's
I know.
It's called Heaven's Waiting Room for a reason.
I know. No one told you to live in Florida, man. All right. Yeah, what are your final thoughts and ratings? You might live closer
in about 20 years.
No, I'm going to go further north. You know this.
Rheumatism medicine.
Yeah, rheumatism.
Okay, this is where we play cleanup. Read your notes real quick and see if you forgot to mention anything. That pops up because I hate when I do that.
No, I mean, most of my notes just basically went into my synopsis. There was not a lot of deep thought in this one. So I guess that's maybe I'll start with the final thoughts and we can do final thoughts and ratings. It's an utterly forgettable outing of Lower Decks. It's not any, like, I called it garbage before, and I think maybe I'm just, cranky.
A
little harsh. That was a little harsh.
Get off my lawn. Get off my Star Trek.
I just don't understand again why they have, and maybe you're right. Maybe they didn't realize it was their final season, so they were doing more weird episodes. I mean, it's not as god awful as that stupid Peanut Hamper episode, but it's still almost as
You don't like Peanut Hamper? Wait till we get there.
No.
Ooh, I think that eggnog might have went bad. I forgot it's real milk.
Uh oh. We better break this quick. Okay, so yeah, the worst episode of Lower Decks? No, of course not. But forgettable, utterly devoid of anything that adds to, I think, the canon in any meaningful way, except for the fact that they're copping to the fact that the actual gods that we saw in Star Trek, the original series, still somehow exist in universe. So I thought that was the only thing that really kind of blew my mind. So with that in mind, I'm going to give this 1.5 undetachable laurel leaf crowns out of 5. How about
Not
you?
Bad. It was okay. It wasn't bad. I didn't dislike it. It made me giggle. It made me chuckle. I enjoyed the experience of watching it with Serenity. But it didn't, I agree with you in that it didn't rise to the occasion that it should have, being so close to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would have been great to have, like, the last 5 episodes maybe serialize more of a big event, but not save the universe, but something, And I was hoping for another Peanut Hamper episode, but obviously that would have been worse for you, because I think there's 2, or one of those those crisis episodes where they're in a movie, a holodeck movie. I like those episodes. So I don't know, something. But this was just okay. And it was just like they had an idea, and it was kind of like, it seemed like the idea that was on the card on the bottom of the board and had been there for a few seasons, and somebody finally got it moved up.
Yeah.
And it was all right.
And the fact that they kept saying Zeus instead of Apollo. But anyway.
I wonder if that was on purpose.
Like I said, I'm trying to remember if in that episode, all the gods once lived on that planet, and Apollo was the last one by the time the Enterprise got there. But then how did they not know about it if they were commingling with humans in that timeline? Because What's-Her-Face isn't that old. Ollie isn't that old.
But a demigod, can gods travel in time?
Do they age differently?
Right. And if they age differently, then she could be older than she appears.
I guess it's just, again, in universe.
She might be close to immortal because she's a demigod.
But then why is she so hapless? Why wouldn't she know that she's setting all of the equipment to fail?
I think she knows that she's trying to hide it.
I don't know. This episode's got some explaining to do, Lucy.
Yep. I think if it was Apollo, it would be too much on the nose. It would be like Trelane's granddaughter or something.
Yeah, but I mean, why reference Kirk kicking their butt?
Because of the Yanni leaf.
Right.
They had to get the Yanni leaf in there.
Okay.
So, yeah, it wasn't the best, but I still enjoyed it, and I'll still watch it along there. I don't think I was as down on it as you. I'm going to give it 3.7 bouncy bolts.
Bouncy bolts. Gotcha.
Bouncy bolts. Because those were odd looking, right? They look like they're rubber or
sort of rubber, but then they broke open and they were still glowy.
But it was funny. There's something funny about a rubbery lightning bolt. It seems
extremely cartoony, but I'd like to see that it rendered in live action, like those bouncing all over the Enterprise D.
I'm sure somebody's going to 3D print those and put those on Etsy.
And Albie's going to 3D print those, put them on Etsy, and you should order them for your Christmas presents.
Link below.
Link below. And speaking of links below, if you want to tell us what you think of this episode of Lower Decks, once again, go to our Patreon site, patreon.com/ Treksploration. There you can join our Patreon community for some money or no money. That's your choice, but you can always leave comments there. You can comment here on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Treksploration. Go below into the comments section. Tell us what you think. Get us on the Instas @Treksploration Pod. Get us on blueskies.com/Treksploration. I don't know what Blue Sky is.
However that works.
We're on the TikToks @Treksploration. You can email us treksplorationpod@gmail.com. You can get us on the phone at 707-847-6682, or you can send us something physical to the P.O. Box. That's P.O. Box 542, Bayport, New York 11705. I love the fact that you and I said, we're going to jump on. We'll be an hour. It's now, as I read this, 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 35 seconds into this show. And we're just wrapping up. Just remember that any comments that you send us will likely be used, or videos that you post just innocuously. We might pirate them to put them on here. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Linda.
In a future episode of Treksploration. Speaking of which, what are we doing next? We're going to stick with Lower Decks. We're going to do
I think
TNGs.
we have to catch up with Lower Decks.
All right, so we'll catch up with Lower Decks.
I think the TNG peeps will forgive us because they're probably watching Lower Decks as well.
So the next episode of Lower Decks that we have to cover is what was it called? See, this is what happens when you don't get your rundown before. It's that one.
I'll look it up real quick.
It's that one on the planet, with the spaceship and stuff.
There's a planet and spaceship.
And there's a Vulcan. And I believe
Gods and Angles. Okay, and the next one would be Fully Dilated.
Dilated.
Oh
yes.
my goodness! I'm going to reserve my thoughts for that episode.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. So join us again for Fully Dilated. We don't know when we're going to do it, but hopefully it's not another couple of minutes like this last lull was. As soon as possible. And until. And what else we got? What are we doing? And we still have TNG. We did when the bell breaks, right?
Home Soil.
Yeah, Home Soil. I watched that last weekend because I thought we were going to do it. I'll reserve my judgment, but let's just say I think we got a lot to talk about with Home Soil. So we have that as well.
Well, thank you, Flip. I really appreciate
that. Thank you, Burge. Thank you, Red Cap.
All right, for Ronald B. Moore and Albie, thanks for watching Treksploration. I forget how I end this. It's so late.
Yeah, well, that's it. So that's our show, everybody. Have a great night. Live long and prosper.
Until next time, I'm Albie.
And I'm Chris.
And we'll see you next time.
Keep trekking. Keep trekking. Keep on trekking.
Let it flow down the deep in space. Oh, don't you them? Got the jaws on the gorgeous sight to see. Do it never did. Got it so deep. Watch it all night. We're ready for a ride. Shake it to the core, side by side. Feel the rhythm as we move to the beat. And we're world podcast with King and Beat. Waves flowing, we set the stage. This is Albie Blue Willows from every age. Capture Charles, get ready to the cosmic tide. Get our militant look. Tight to the ride.